everyone, I'm Sarah with Fisher-Price Ranch. First off, please hit that subscription button down below and notification bell for updates on our next videos. So we are officially 3 months along on the goat's pregnancy, and it should be about time we should start feeling babies kicking and hopefully seeing them. So we're going to check out the girls and see some signs of getting closer in their pregnancy due dates. And I think we're going to start seeing some udders start showing up as well. Alright, well here's one of our girls. You can see how big she is. And she is just getting a small udder. Hey, okay, Zara wants to say hi first. So Zara is currently in heat, and finally, I know I'm so excited. And real quick, if you guys have never seen a dog in heat, you can see how swollen she is and she's bleeding. Today is day 7 of her heat. Now dogs are in heat for 18 days, and they aren't typically what's the word? Fertile? I don't know. Until at least usually you want to start breeding around day 9, and you want to go every other day when you're breeding. Now this is my first time breeding dogs. Well, I guess the second time. The first time she did not take, so I was still learning. I've been doing a lot of research. Anyway, so unfortunately, I have to go around the schedule of the owner of the male, and so we're going to actually start breeding her tomorrow, and we'll see if she will tie with the male tomorrow. So anyway, back to the goats. So as you can see, Goldie is getting a little bit of an udder started. And usually when you look for babies kicking, or where you want to feel for the babies, if you're looking at the back of the goat, it's her right side. So, I don't know if she'll let me, but we'll see if we can. Nope, she's not going to let me. So, I've noticed that goats will go either one way or the other when they're pregnant. If they're usually, well, they could be a little more wild and they'll kind of become a little bit more friendly, or vice versa. So, let's see. Yeah, everybody's getting really fat here. I know Capers. I did a short clip of her, and we'll see. You can see she's getting a real low belly, and I believe she is just barely starting an udder. I don't know if she'll let me look. Yeah, you can just see a little bit of an udder started there. So now to watch the girls. Hi, Savannah. What I start to look for is their vulva is going to loosen up a little bit. It's going to get real saggy, or floppy as I call it. As they start walking around, it's going to start just kind of flopping around. As we get a little bit closer, another month, I can start showing you guys that. Right now we're pretty much at the stage where udders are just going to barely start forming, and we're going to start seeing the babies kick in. Lots of fat girls out here, that's for sure. Hey, Pinky. Zara's making everybody nervous. Oh, goodness. I don't know if we can maybe watch her belly for a minute, see if we see any kicking. So now usually this far along in the pregnancy, about 3 months, you can see she's getting a little bit of an udder as well. But you'll see the babies kicking usually on the lower side of their right side. And she has a good example of a vulva that's getting a little bit loose. But usually if you look on this side, I don't know if the lighting is going to work for us. But we'll see if we can see any kicking on the side there. Probably not if she's not going to sit still. Looks like Sabrina's getting a little bit of an udder as well. So I usually see udders start forming just a little bit of sagginess to the udder about 2 months prior to even just 6 weeks prior. And then we'll really start seeing udders forming at about 4 to 3 weeks before kidding. And then usually a couple days before they'll get real big. And then usually the day of, or the day before they kid, they'll get really big. Tipsy's our first one due, and we're getting into that point probably in another week or two. We're going to start hearing the moaning and the grumbling, but it sounds like Tipsy's already started. Huh, girl? What? You gonna tell us how you feel? I don't know if you guys can hear that. Are you grumbling? Huh? Here comes the grumbling. So I remember my first year of breeding our goats, and I heard the moaning start, and I was like, oh my god, they're normally so quiet. What's going on? What's wrong? I've learned to live with it. It becomes musical. As soon as they all start doing it, it gets really loud. You step outside and all you hear is this grumbling and moaning and whining coming from the goat pen. And they're all just so big and miserable that when they're laying down, that's how they do it. That's how they breathe. That's how they moan. It's quite funny. Here's another one that's getting real big is Mama. And then her daughter, Truffles. She's due the same day as Tipsy over there. And she's definitely getting big. Ain't you, girl? So usually when the girls are laying down, I can see the kicking of the babies a little bit better. So we'll see if Mama will stay where she's at and see if we see any kicking going on in her belly. Alright, so if we watch closely, see if we can see any kicking going on. Now, you have to pay close attention because when she's breathing, it can look like her belly's moving, when it really isn't. But kicking is usually a sudden hit against the belly, and you'll see the hair move or like a small lump appear for just a second. Well, we're not getting any babies kicking from her, but Capers is laying down, so maybe we'll go check her out. So this is ZNK Capers Jr. She's bred by PUT Wrecker, and she's about 8 weeks out, 8.5 weeks, something like that, from kidding. I wanted to show you guys. If you look closely, you'll see babies kicking. I hope you guys were able to see that. It's pretty neat to watch, and especially when you feel it, it's pretty cool. Now Capers was one that had a baby or babies last year. If you guys remember that video when she went into labor a few weeks early, and I just found the remnants of the baby. The dog was eating it. So we're really hoping that we don't have any issues this year. I think with the more property, now that we've had this laid out a little bit differently and the girls aren't fighting as much because they have more space, we're hoping that we'll get a full delivery of Capers kids and they're happy, healthy, because I'd really love to see her kids. Last year was her first time getting pregnant, and so this will be really nice to see if we get some kids. Alright guys, well, I hope you guys enjoyed this, and hopefully maybe you learned a little something. So right now we're still about 8 weeks out from kidding, but I do keep an eye on my girls. Things can change, stuff can happen. Usually around 3 months is when, if there's gonna be an issue, you will see a miscarriage. It looks like everybody looks really good today. I don't see any signs of bleeding or anything like that. But usually around 3 months, that's what I do. I start to check everybody for any possible miscarriages. I check any udder formation. I check to see if there's any babies kicking, which is always exciting. And But so far, everybody looks healthy, happy, and so hopefully everybody progresses and goes full term and gives us all healthy kids. So thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.